Hello, I Gurmeet Singh welcome you to CREATA classes. In this lecture, we will cover question number 4, exercise 13.2, chapter statistics for class 10th students. So this is the question number 4. Our first step, we will observe the data. The data is given related to the number of students per teacher in different states and union territories. On the first column, the number of students per teacher are given. In the second column, the number of states and UT are given. For example, three states or UTs are having the number of students per teacher in the range of 15 to 20. On the extreme end, we are having two states or union territories which are having the number of students per teacher as 50 to 55. Okay, these are the interpretation of the data. Now the question is, which is good? The first row it is good or the last row it is good? The number of students per teacher, it should be on the higher end or the lower end. Think and tell me in the comments which is good, the first row or the last row. Let's move further. In this question we have to find the mode and the mean of the data and also do the interpretation of the result. Let's see. Firstly, let's find the mean. Here our first column it is the observation and the second column it is the frequency, which is Fi. How many times our observations are repeating. Let's add one more column which is Xi, the class marks. And how we find Xi? Xi is the midpoint of the range. For the first row 15 to 20, the midpoint it will be 17.5. You can use the formula upper range plus lower range upon 2. 15 plus 20 upon 2, it is 17.5. Or you can simply observe the range and locate the midpoint. Second row 20 to 25, the midpoint it will be 22.5. Next 25 to 30, the midpoint it will be 27.5. Similarly 32.5, 37.5, 42.5, 47.5 and 52.5. Our next step, either we can use a direct method or we can go to the next method. It depends on the simplicity of the calculation. Here, to avoid the complex calculation, we will go to the next method, that is the assumed mean method. And what is the first step in this method? We locate the assumed mean. So out of all these observations or xi, we will locate one of the point as assumed mean. You are open to use any of the value as assumed mean. Generally, we take the midpoint. So here let's take the point 37.5 as the assumed mean, which is A. And what is the next step? We find the deviation. We subtract all the values of xi with the assumed mean to get the value of the deviation, which is di. So here we will subtract the xi with assumed mean. Let's do so. 17.5 minus 37.5, it is minus 20. 22.5 minus 37.5, it is minus 15. Similarly, minus 10, minus 5, 0, 5, 10 and 15. We got the value of deviation. Now again we are having two methods, either to go with the assumed mean method or to go with the step deviation method. How we decide? We check the class interval. If the class interval is divisible with all the values of the deviation, we will go to the next method. Else we will retain the current method. So let's find class interval. How we do so? Upper range minus lower range is the class interval. So here 20 minus 15, the class interval h we got as 5. In all these ranges, the class interval is same, that is 5. We got the value of h as 5, and you can observe we can easily divide all the values of the deviation with 5. So yes, we will go to the next method, that is the step deviation method, in which we add one more column which is ui, in which we divide the values of the deviation with class interval, which is 5. So let's divide all the values of di with 5. In the first row, minus 20 upon 5, we got minus 4. Then minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Observe that how simple our calculation has become. Like minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. All these values are very simple. Now our calculation will become very simple. This is the whole purpose of going to the next method, to simplify the calculations. So let's add the last column, which is fi into ui, in which we will multiply fi with ui. Let's do so. 3 into minus 4, it is minus 12. 8 into minus 3, it is minus 24. Next, it is minus 18, minus 10, 0, 0, 0, and 6. So we got the values of fi into ui. Our next step, we will do the addition of all the values of fi into ui to get sigma fi into ui. Let's add all this value. We got the result as minus 58. Similarly, we will also add all the values of the frequency. Let's do so. We got sigma fi is equal to 35. Note that here all these values are the number of states and union territories. Adding all the states and union territories, we got the values as 35. Now the question is India is having 35 number of states and union territories? Check and tell me in the comment section. If it is not 35, why we have taken it as 35? Tell me in the comment section. Let's see. Further, let's use the formula of the step deviation method. This is the formula. Here A is the assumed mean, which we have taken as 37.5. H is the class interval, which we have calculated as 5. Let's put all the values. On solving, we got mean as 29.214. So this is the average number of students per teacher, 29.214. Okay, we got the value of mean. Our next step, we will find the value of the mode. Let's do so. So let's use the formula of the mode and let's identify all the missing variable. What is the first step in finding the value of the mode? We locate the model class, and how we do so? We find the maximum frequency. The class corresponding to maximum frequency is the model class. So out of all these frequencies, which is the maximum frequency? 10 is the maximum frequency. So this class corresponding to maximum frequency is the model class. Here 10 is the maximum frequency, which is f1. And what is f0 and f2? And we know the frequency before our model frequency, it is f0, and the frequency after our model frequency, it is f2. So f0 it is 9 and f2 it is 3. And what is L? L is the lower range, which is 30, the lower range of the model class. And H, the class interval, we have already calculated as 5, upper range minus lower range. 35 minus 30, it is 5. This is the formula to calculate the mode, and we have calculated all the values of this formula. Let's put all the values. Let's solve it. We got the mode as 30.625. That is the answer. And what is the interpretation? What is mode? Mode is a number which is repeating maximum time, and mean is the average. You can check our video in which we have compared mode with the mean through the power of visualization. Check the link in the description. So we got mean as 29.214 and mode as 30.6. Mean is the average and mode is the number which is repeating maximum time. It means that on an average we are having 29 students per teacher. This is the mean, this is the average. And mode, the maximum time our number is repeating. Maximum time or most of the time we are having 30 students per teacher. One teacher is handling 30 students most of the time. And on average, one teacher is handling 29 students. This is the interpretation of the mean and the mode, or the average or the maximum number which is repeating. Got it? The detailed video of the comparison of the mean and mode, the link is given in the description. It is in the visualization form. You will be better able to understand there. So we have done with the question number 4. So students, we have done with this lecture. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. If so, please like, share and subscribe. And also check out the description for various resources related to class 10, like the continuing lecture, the lectures related to other topics, and the PDF of the formula list. All this in the description, check it out. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you very much for being with CREATA Classes. Have a great day. Bye for now.